Hey guys, this is Jeff Morton from MortonTrainingSystems.com, and today we're talking hip mobility. Now, if you've been doing a lot of hip mobility exercise and you find that your hip mobility isn't improving, then the answer is probably not more hip mobility exercises. So today I'm going to show you an exercise that will improve hip mobility as a side effect, but it's not a direct hip mobility exercise per se. So it's a glute exercise instead. Oftentimes, hip mobility restrictions can actually be caused by weak or inactive glutes, and inactive just means you don't know how to use your butt muscles. So the most straightforward way to learn how to use your butt muscles is to do a body weight glute bridge, which is what I'm going to show you today. So I will demonstrate the exercise. So you'll notice my heels are not right up against my butt, but they're also not super far out here. I want to kind of find somewhere in between. My shins are going to be more or less vertical, or more or less perpendicular with the ground. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of pushing the ground away with my heels, and like there is a string pulling my belt buckle up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to try and cramp up my glutes as hard as I can, and then I'm going to lower down under control. So string pulls my belt buckle up, I'm squeezing as hard as I can, and then down. Now, in order to actually get some solid glute activation out of this, there's a few things we need to be cognizant of. So the first one is that we want to make sure that our back stays nice and neutral. If I do this, so notice how my back is arched. If I pull my shirt up, you can see I have a pretty heavy lower back arch there, and my glutes aren't doing anything here. My hips aren't going all the way up. I'm feeling a lot of tension in my low back. I'm not achieving the intent of the exercise. So what I want to make sure that I do is, as I lift my hips up off the ground, I want to think of bringing my belt buckle towards my chin, and then I'm going to not only feel my glutes work a little harder, but if I have any tendency to have a low back arch, that's going to flatten out. And then I'm going to lower, so again, belt buckle to the chin, and then down. Now, the flip side of the coin is if somebody's bringing their belt buckle to the chin too early, my lower back actually rounds out a little bit, my hips don't go all the way up, and I shortchange myself on range of motion, and therefore I shortchange myself on glute activation, which obviously you don't want to do. So what you want to think of is, like, you know, in cartoons when the character will step on a rake and then it'll come smack him in the face. You want your back to be that rake. So you're going to push the ground away, step on the rake, squeeze, and now you can see I have a straight line from my shoulders all the way down to my knees, and then down. So I usually use this as a warm-up before I'm doing any squatting or deadlifting or any of the big compound, predominantly lower body lifts. As far as how many reps and sets, it varies. I like to just do a few sets, each set going till I feel a little bit of burn in my glutes, but not to the point where I'm tiring myself out. So why don't you give this a shot and let me know what you think.